Good afternoon. So just last minute, I tweeted out a bunch of news. There really wasn't much. Again, on my phone, I get breaking news from Sputnik and RT, and anymore, it's slim pickings. I don't see a whole lot, and I have my suspicions if that's something to do with all the craziness that's been against Sputnik and RT here in the United States. So right before the show, I went to their websites and actually tweeted out stuff. And to me, some of the stuff that was on their homepages, to me, was extremely, extremely important information. So we'll be covering that. My rant today is probably, we're going to see how it goes, but it's probably going to be about voting, okay? Because I've had this rant many, many, many times, but it needs to go into a monologue. And then at some point, not today, but at some point, I need to do the monologue that I did yesterday over again, talking about prepping. In fact, I might just make that a separate video without it being a monologue, because I think it's essentially important that priority list gets out there. And it would probably been too hard to kind of hack it up and piece it together, because I just the way I'd done it, I'd went back and I'd listened to it, and I just didn't see how I could effectively, without it sounding funny, how I could just take sections out. So, however, when I said that, probably going to be about voting, it's because there's a few different things I'm going to be showing you, including some video content after I cover the news, and they're all parts of the reason why I have the attitude of why a vote just doesn't work, doesn't matter, doesn't work. It's at this point it's foolish. It is. I'm not discouraging anybody from voting. By all means, if you want to vote, go vote. But certainly don't tell people if they don't vote, they don't have a right to bitch. That is lunacy. That is lunacy. Like, okay, do you want to vote for the pedophile, or do you want to vote for the mass murderer, or do you want to vote? Really? I've got to pick one. That's lunacy. That is absolute lunacy. So, and I'm not naming anybody. I'm not saying Trump was this, or Hillary was this, or Bernie was this, or I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that is essentially what you're asking. You're saying, well, this guy or girl, doesn't support this or that. Exactly, Aaron. Aaron said, you don't want to choose the lesser of two evils. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. I'm not going to choose the lesser of two evils. I don't have to. And luckily, we live in a country, at least at this point, that we don't have to. At this point. I suspect it's coming. Folks, I suspect it's coming, that it's going to be mandatory to vote in this country. And I don't think it's too far off. If we make it that far, I don't think it's too far off. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But there's some things that I want to show you, and it proves without a doubt, and I'm going to explain why voting just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if the person that was truly voted for gets in office and that person is truly a good person, it still doesn't matter. Still doesn't matter. And I'm going to show you why. It's pretty simple. It really, really is. So let me run over the financial stuff and then get to the news. I've actually got some odd news, but it's odd in a good way. So I'm still trying to process it. It really is. Oh, website news. I've got the menus working that I've been fighting so desperately to get working. I'd been trying to install another extension to use with it because I wanted a sticky menu. What a sticky menu is when you scroll down the page, the menu would stay at the top of the screen. It wouldn't disappear off the screen with the rest of the website as you scroll down. Apparently, because many of these extensions, menu extensions I'm trying to use, offer a paid version in which that option allows you, if you have the paid version, you have that option already built in. You just turn the sticky on and it stays there like it's supposed to. So this free sticky extension that I installed, along with these menu extensions, will cause the menu extension not to work. It's the way that the people coded it, so to get you to, or at least encourage you to buy their menu. And I'm not going to spend $29 or 29 euros. I don't know what that would be in US for a menu. I think that's insane. So anyway, I got that working. So I'm starting to get coming along, and as I've told you, I will get to certain points and I will wipe everything out and restart it. And that's what I'm to next, is to wipe out everything I've got so far, rebuild the site, and I think I'm good. I think I can build from there, and I think I'll be okay. I've got some really cool extensions to make things look a lot nicer and flow a lot smoother. And I think I'm well on the way as far as being able to start building now. And we're going to have a discussion coming up here soon as to what people would like to see on the website. In fact, it's probably going to be an entire monologue. I'll announce it a day ahead of time, and that's what the monologue will be. It will be a discussion about what people would like to see on the website, and I'm going to start gathering that information. Because, now I can pretty much put on there anything I want to. I don't have a hosting company to say, well, you can't run this type of thing or that type of thing. The old chat script that I was using when we were running a dedicated server, that will be going back on the website. So the website will have a pretty incredible chat network right on it. So, which will allow audio chat, video chat, text chat, sending of files, pictures, whatever. So pretty cool stuff. I won't be putting the like the wall thing like I've got on the current site now. I won't be putting that on there because it's not used. So I can't see the purpose in using database space and all that. Not that I'm worried about the space, but I just don't see the purpose in putting that on there if it's not being utilized. So it is what it is. So let's see. Let me go ahead and run through the financial stuff. Then we'll get to the stuff I've tweeted out. Again, I've got some pretty insane. I think it's pretty insane news. I think it's pretty awesome news. But it's definitely, for me, shocking. So let's see here. YouTube. We're down to $2.89. If they keep it up, like by the end of the month, we're going to owe them money, right? Wow. It's insane. Okay, Steam It, pretty much the same as it was. I just actually redeemed some. So the Steam dollars is up to 11.329. I seen before it flashed. I don't know why it flashed, but okay, whatever. Yeah, it flashed. I don't know what happened. But anyway, it's trying to log me back in now. I wonder what's up with that. But anyway, it's the same as it ever was. No. Anyway. Google AdSense. Somebody's been clicking away. We're up to $1.33 today. So that's awesome. That brings us up to $5.42 for the month so far. And our balance, of course, is still the same. The money here from the estimated earnings will not transfer over until the beginning of next month. And the YouTube will be sometime between now and the 15th. Will come over here. And I think it's going to be like around 17 something or whatever. And our goal is 100. That's when they'll let us cash out. So. Okay, let me go ahead and run through this, and we'll get started with the actual monologue part of things. I left my glasses over on the other table. Of course, the ones that I've got here are like so dusted up, but that's okay. I'll read through the dust. Okay, Russia should be in the G7 meeting, says Trump. Get this, and we covered this on the show. New Jersey police won't face criminal charges for punching beachgoer in the head. I played this video on here, and it was pretty clear. It was pretty clear there was a huge overreaction that went on, and yeah, same as it ever was. Here we go. This is the headline that, to me, it just caught me off guard, and I thought, man, that is incredible. I'm not a huge fan of any big corporation, but for a big corporation to step up and do this, wow, that's incredible. Kraft Heinz paying kids slapped with lemonade stand fines. Is that incredible or what? That is like, wow. But we have to fix this problem. That's just a Band-Aid. That's just a Band-Aid. We've got to fix this problem because our children should be able to have a lemonade stand in the yard. I mean, come on. It's mind-blowing. Had to have a sip of coffee. Cause of death of hacker who turned in Chelsea Manning remains a mystery, says the autopsy report. Gotta love that. And of course, Anthony Bourdain came up suicided today. Very interesting stuff, considering that I think it's his girlfriend or his wife spoke out against Harvey Weinstein, and I think there were some other ties to the Clintons. So there you go. It's a bad week for suicidedness, because I'm telling you, I know somebody was saying 4 this week so far. 4? This Kate, Anthony, and there was a couple other I've seen them talking about that all seem to have kind of ties. It's insane. Now, this is the first time the G7 is so controversial and opposed to the U.S. Get this, right? No poverty there. Brazilian senator shares emotions after visit to North Korea. Now, what have I been saying? And I'm not saying necessarily I trust, the Brazilian senator. I'm not saying I do trust him. I'm not saying I don't trust him. But what I have been saying for quite some time is we can't believe what we're told about how the people there in North Korea are living like animals because Kim Jong-un and his father, and, they wouldn't take care of the people. We don't know that. That's all what we're told. We don't know that. Gaddafi was, from my understanding, taking really good care of the citizens of Libya before he was dragged into the streets and killed. So, the fact of the matter is we just don't know. All we know is the propaganda that's fed to us. So, I found that kind of an interesting report. Black woman trying to return bra to store is handcuffed and accused of shoplifting. Now, this is the second story like this that I've ran across today. The first story that I ran across today was a black man, and he was trying to return some stuff, and pretty much the same kind of reaction. They acted like he stole it, and they claimed that they thought that he was a known criminal, somebody that was writing, I think, bad checks for stuff and then bringing the stuff back to return it. Turned out, of course, it wasn't him, but still, I mean, it's insane. It's insane. All U.S. B-1B bombers grounded after mechanical failure causes emergency landing. Thank God we got other bombers. Let's see. 1 U.S. soldier killed, 4 injured in attack in Somalia. Chinese hackers swipe naval warfare secrets from U.S. Kremlin on Trump's call for Russia's G8 return. We are focused on other formats. So I thought that was interesting, you know. Trump said something about Russia not being at G7, and it looks like they're trying to work it for Russia to be at G8. That make any difference? Am I impressed? No. No. Just more politics, just more games. That's all it is. Mysterious new spy radar appears in Cuba. And I was reading into this, and they suspect that it's probably China. Because somebody's got to pay for it, right? So they suspect that China is the one that funded this this radar setup. So I find that very interesting, you know. And Marco Rubio had spoke out and said that you know it would be a good idea for Cuba to you know, to remove it to help improve relations. And when I see things like that, and I often see things like that, you know, I keep thinking, you know, okay, so it's all right for us to do anything we want anywhere around the world, right? We've got so many military bases around the world. We've got so much equipment around the world. We got THAAD systems everywhere, right? But boy, nobody else is supposed to get anywhere near us. It just seems like an incredible double standard, and I think it's starting to backfire, and that's what the other article that I tweeted out earlier on more or less is pointing out. This is the first time G7 is so controversial opposed to U.S. because people are getting tired of it. People are getting tired of U.S. being the world bully. So, kind of is what it is. Let me take a peek over, because I do believe a lot of what I was going to be speaking of has to do with information that I actually shared. There's a video that I'm going to play, and it seemed like there was, yeah, there's a video I'm going to play, and it's insane. And this is, yeah, kind of, this is one of the articles. Smitty shared an article with me earlier. Let me go ahead and, well, basically it says, while Flint continues to struggle, Michigan is allowing Nestle to pump and sell millions of gallons of water for next to nothing. And we all know about this. And they're having similar issues in California with, you know, water, like shortages and whatnot. But Nestle and other companies are allowed to use as much as they want. You know, and in fact, in California right now, it's now illegal to do your laundry and take a shower in the same day. So, you know, but these water bottle companies, you know, Nestle and other companies, are allowed to have as much water as they want. They're not restricted. They're not regulated. They're not nothing. They're just go right on ahead. You're fine. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. And folks, the only way we're going to fix this is to get the corrupt politicians out of office, because we've got to get the corrupt politicians out of office in order to get the corrupt businesses out of the country, or at least knock them down a few notches so they can't have as much of an effect as what they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and figure out how to collapse this. I know there's a way to do it. Ah, that hit it. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a video. And I don't know all the circumstances for this or anything like that. I'm going to try to pause it. Hang on. Facebook has just been so slow and laggy. It is incredible. Okay, so I don't know a whole lot about this. I really don't know a whole lot about this. I did do a little digging to try and find out more information, and I don't have it. All I do know is in the video, It's somebody had said it. It might have been the gentleman holding the camera. I don't know, but somebody had said that the reason why law enforcement was there to begin with was because he was called. Oh wow, that's Angry American commenting on his own post, or on a post in his Facebook page. But anyway, they had said that she had called the police for help. I don't know what kind of help. I don't know. I really don't know anything other than what you're going to see here. I haven't been able to find any other information out on it. But it's insane. What you're going to see is insane enough.
Aside from resisting, what's she being arrested for before that? What was she resisting?
Refusing to move from the front of my police car. And they wouldn't fucking help me. And
okay. Well, to be honest, man, I'm not sure whether that constitutes her being arrestable.
It doesn't matter right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, what matters is, man, like, dude, stop, listen to me.
Right now, I need to focus on what I'm doing. Get the fuck off of me. Why are you taking my pants off? You fucking tear your hands off. Because you are not consistent, bitch. Get the fuck off of me. What are you doing? I called for your help. You're fucking psychotic.
You should never have called for their help. That was a big problem.
You guys are crazy. I didn't fucking hit you. No, sir.
Dude, you gonna threaten that? She's like a 10-year-old girl, man. She's gonna hit you. You're like a 300-pound dude. This is insanity, man. We're gonna have to call an ambulance. There we go. Third guy coming up. There we go. Fourth guy coming up. There's another one.
I'm calm. They wouldn't fucking help me. And they were do anything. They attacked me. They attacked me. This is not fair. No. You don't have a choice. I didn't do anything. Sir, I didn't do anything. Get the fuck off of me. I didn't do anything. No. Get off of me. I didn't do anything. Get the fuck off me. No. Get the fuck off of me. Get the fuck off of me. Get off of me. No, get off of me. Why are you arresting me? Because I called for your help? Because this is how you make money. Get the fuck off of me. Get off of me. Why is it okay for you to treat me this way? You are hurting me, sir.
You stop resisting.
No.
Oh, that's great. You got four of your you got to crush her, man. You got a 300-pound dude sitting on her. This is so crazy, man.
We're gonna let up pressure.
Can't believe this, man. These fucking pieces of shit right here, man. Crazy as fuck, dude. Oh, dude. Hi.
Where'd you come from?
I live right here, bro. I heard her screaming, help. She was screaming help. I thought maybe she was getting raped, bro. Came out here to find out 4 fat officers are sitting on her. Okay, doping. No, man. Doping. Yeah, man. Back up. I know, man. I can't.
Back though, okay?
Scoot back how? I'm fine. I've been here since before you.
I got you.
I'm good.
I'm just asking you to scoot back, okay?
I'm good. Don't touch me.
Just
Don't touch
to the
me.
telephone.
Let go of me. Let go of me, officer. Let go of me.
I need you
officer, let go of me. Officer, let go of me.
We're dealing with this.
Okay, I see that. Officer, let go of me right now. Let go of me right now because I've been here. Okay, there's no reason for you. You're going to push me back.
Dude, I am going to.
Okay, how far are you going to put me back?
I just want you right there by the telephone.
You're going to put me in handcuffs for resisting arrest?
Because you're interfering.
I'm not interfering. I'm not too close.
I need to uncomfortable.
Making you
can
feel
record fine right there.
If you have 4 other officers here, you're feeling uncomfortable,
I just
bro?
want you to.
And the video shuts off right there. So I wanted to play that because I think it is a direct reflection of what I'm going to be talking about. Because this issue is not changing. It's ongoing. and it's ever worsening. And the only way that it's going to change is us to dissolve this police state. Now, that's not going to happen until we dissolve, in cases like this, our city governments. Now, I don't mean overthrow, overtake. I'm not saying that. I will say dismiss. I will say dismiss. But not overtake. You know, I think we have a fine system set up in this country. Of course, it needs to be made a little more retro to be back to the way that it used to be. But I think our structure, I think the core of this country is fine. I think its intent is very good. The problem is, and this goes hand in hand with why it's not going to make a bit of difference when you vote. It's because there's so much corruption. And I was thinking about this today, and I was going to do up some graphics and stuff like that, and I didn't have a chance to do it. But I can kind of give you a visual. It's pretty simple. Imagine 1,000 dots, right? And they're all red. Okay, now red is going to equal bad here. So imagine 1,000 dots, and they're all red, meaning bad. And you color one dot out of those 1,000 green, which is good. So you have to expect at that point that one green dot is going to be able to make a difference against the 999 red dots. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm not saying there aren't good people that run for office. I'm not saying that there aren't good people in office. I personally think Ron Paul was an incredible, amazing human being and government official. I think he was a wonderful public servant. I would have been honored to have had him here in Illinois. But again, you've got that one green dot against the 999 red dots. So, getting anything changed for the better is impossible at this point for the most part. And the reason why that vote doesn't matter, I'm not saying that if you go in and vote, you know, and a bunch of other people go in and vote likewise with you, I'm not saying that that person isn't going to get in office. But what I'm saying is the effect of that person in government is going to be minimal. Absolutely bottom level, ground, below the ground, minimal. Because you've got a needle in the haystack trying to be bigger than the haystack. It's not going to work. So it has to be dissolved. It has to be dismantled. They have to be dismissed. And again, I'm not saying overtaken. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying tell them you're fired, go home, and hold elections. Hold elections. That's what I'm saying. Essentially, it comes back to voting. But we have to remove the fruit that has been spoiled before we can do anything. And then there's other ground rules that we have to set forth. We have to set forth term limits right off the top. Term limits. Because those term limits will help prevent the corruption from getting so bad in the future. Next thing is change the description of lobbying to what it really is, bribery. And start charging corporations and individuals like that. In fact, I would go back and I would start charging, you know, companies, corporations, and individuals retroactively. You have to make an example. You have to make an example of this. Folks, when we're not allowed to know where our meat comes from, when we're not allowed to have a say-so on whether or not GMO foods are labeled, when we're not allowed to have a say-so in any of this type of stuff, but yet they can put the regulations on vaping, that they are? You know, I mean, that's just one example. Look at how lopsided all of this is. California. California is a state in which everything causes cancer. Your toilet paper has probably got a warning on it saying that it can cause cancer in California. And that's no joke. I mean, everything has to be labeled in California as potentially causing cancer. Okay? But not Monsanto's Roundup. Oh no, that was just in the news not long ago. That was just in the news not long ago, that Monsanto will not have to label their Roundup as possibly causing cancer. Now, is that insane or what? I mean, again, going back to vaping, they made the companies that make e-juice in the state of California label it as potentially cancer-causing. Now, understand this. Nicotine is not a carcinogen. It doesn't have carcinogens in it. Nicotine is fine. Where you get the carcinogens when it comes to nicotine-related things is by the burning tobacco product. And in fact, you get much more carcinogens from the cigarette paper than what you do the tobacco in it. And if it was pure tobacco and it didn't have all the 5,000, 6,000 chemicals in it, and that's not an exaggeration, and it didn't have all the paper fillers in it, there wouldn't be much carcinogens in tobacco. See? Government protecting us again. So, you know, the only way we're going to fix this is we have to remove the problem, which means all of them. Every single one of them. Aaron brings up a good point. He said we have to disqualify anyone who wants to be elected into office and appoint folks that don't want the job, but who are patriots enough to do it anyway. Now, I've said a lot of similar comments to that. You know, the last people that we want in office are the ones that are fighting so hard to be there. And I've said essentially exactly what you're saying. We need to find the people that don't want the job, you know, but would be responsible enough to do it right and give it to them. I've also been on record as to say we need to reincarnate George Carlin and put him as president for a couple of reasons. For one, he would straighten this country out real quick, and number two, that would be the most cruel joke we could play on him ever. But you know, seriously, it's, you know, the only way we're going to fix this is to take it all down. And again, I don't mean overthrow. I don't mean, I'm not even saying a revolution. Okay? I think the system is fine, especially if we go back and remove some of the stuff out of the system that's allowed the corruption to run so rampant. But if we use that core system that our forefathers designed, and we just cleared everything out, and set in term limits, we would be a hell of a lot better off. We would be a hell of a lot better off. And start actually charging corporations and individuals that try to use money or gifts or anything else to persuade lawmakers into accepting their corruption. Charge them for what it is. I think the elections need to be publicly funded. I don't think there should be allowed any type of private funding whatsoever when it comes to elections and campaigns and all that stuff, because that gives an unfair advantage. You know, and it's pretty sad when you've got third-party candidates that have done everything necessary that they need to do to qualify to be in the debates, and wind up getting arrested on the property of where the debates are held because they're not allowed to go in. Even though they've met all the requirements to be in that debate, they're not allowed to go in that debate because, guess what? People might hear them. It's insane. Now, that's happened the last several elections. I forget the woman's name in the Green Party. Jill Stein, I think. I think she was one of them that's been arrested. Gary Johnson, I believe, was arrested. So, I mean, it's insane. Absolutely insane. But we won't. Yeah, I just seen that, Aaron. That would be priceless. George Carlin's State of the Union addresses. You know what? When he would have the banquet dinner for the press and all that, he wouldn't even need to hire comedians. He could just take the stage, right? Save some money. See right there, George Carlin's already saving us some money. Oh man. So, you know, it's really simple when you look at it. But before we can even get to that point, we have to stop telling everybody. And when I say we, I'm not talking about me. we have to stop telling everybody, well, you know, you can't bitch if you can't, or if you don't vote, or you have to vote, or not voting is un-American, or, you know, no, what's un-American is not having the willpower or the knowledge, you know, to fix what's wrong. And there's clearly stuff wrong. And that's why, you know, I will stand behind somebody if they hang their flag upside down. I can't stand behind somebody that burns the flag, but I can stand behind the right to do so. I don't have to like it. I don't have to like it, and I don't like it. But, you know, the whole idea of the First Amendment is to stand up for not only what you feel, but for what everybody else feels too, right? Because stupid is as stupid does, right? Stupid ideas, as long as we don't have government to force them down our throat, stupid ideas that get washed down the toilet, okay? The problem here lately, and I don't mean necessarily with Trump in office, it slowed down with Trump in office, but with Obama in office, it was like insane, right? You would get the smallest group of people, and their agenda would get crammed down everybody's throats, no matter how stupid of an idea it was, no matter how unliked an idea it was. And we're not talking things about, you know, just allowing people to be people and do their own thing. We're talking about things that just, it should not even been involved in our government, especially federal government. But it got crammed down our throats. So we need the government to get out of that stuff. We need to let the government get out of it, especially the federal government. If the state government, you know, the county government, if they want to get involved, and by the way, we need to pretty much do away with the city government. I'm not saying do away with mayors and all that. I'm saying do away with all the ordinances and the bylaws. When it comes to laws, I think that needs to stop at the county level. I really think that needs to stop at the county level. Because what is going on in cities and towns are insane. You've got a lot of cities and towns out there now that are you know, charging and making you get a permit to have a yard sale. Then they're turning around and collecting the tax off of the money you make on that yard sale, right? And they've even got some of the, I talked about lemonade stands. They've even got some locations to where you can get a permit for your child to have a lemonade stand. This is insane. This is insane. The people are getting absolutely fleeced. Absolutely fleeced. You know, and we have to quit the rhetoric. Well, if we don't have this, not oh my God, who's going to build the roads? We will make sure the roads get taken care of. I can guarantee you that. We, the people, are not going to let this country just fall into dishevelment. Or I know I'm making up words, but we're not just going to let this country turn into a big steaming pile of crap because we don't have Big Daddy government to tell us what to do. Okay? In fact, we the people, I'm convinced, can do a much better job of taking care of the infrastructure of this country, and we can do it for much cheaper. We'll do it better, and we'll do it cheaper. But, gotta get that Big Daddy government out of the way. And before we can do that, it means we're gonna have to remove these leeches from the offices they uphold. Okay? It's the only way to do it. The only way to do it. They're not going to step away. They're not going to walk away. You know, they'll vote against you getting raises. They'll even vote against the military getting raises. But you better bet your ass that every time it comes up for them to get a raise, they vote in favor of it. We see it time and time and time again. And we the people, it would seem, is powerless over it. That's what they would like us to think. But we're not. We're not powerless. We're not helpless. We're not hopeless. We the people are the government. They've just got everybody convinced otherwise. We need to take our country back. And it doesn't have to be through revolution. It doesn't have to be through a takeover or overthrowing. It just has to be us giving a damn more about this country and its future and our children's future than we do the ball game or the TV show. But I've said that over and over and over. So I hope I've made some sense of this. Because it's one of those topics that I have to repeat and repeat and repeat as to why it does no good to vote. And again, I'm not telling people not to vote. Unlike how they tell people they have to vote, I'm not doing that. If it makes you feel good, if it makes you feel warm and fuzzy, if it touches your testicles, go vote. Most certainly go vote. But don't tell me I don't have a reason to bitch if I don't vote. Don't tell me I don't understand how it works if I don't vote. I'm just smart enough and have enough common sense to understand that it's way past that. And even if we do vote in a few good people, they're going to be overshadowed and overran by the bad people. That's where we're at as a country. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. It's just where we're at. It's the reality of it. It's a shame, but I'm going to wrap up the monologue. I wanted to better explain myself and my standpoint with that, and I thought it would be good to get in a monologue and get it out there because it's important, and I don't think we have a whole lot of time left to be able to fix this because it's getting ready to fall, and when it falls, they've already got plans and people in place to rebuild. Believe me, decades ago they've had that planned out. What do you think FEMA's all about to begin with? What do you think DHS is all about to begin with? The rebuilding of this country. We're just waiting for the fall, folks. We're just waiting for the fall. And I suspect it's coming any time. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up the monologue. I want to thank those that just listened to the monologue. And for those that just listened to the monologue, I'd like to tell you that God bless you. We love you and be one with your spirit.